Welcome to the show. The list grabbed a lot of headlines in the Twin Cities. Mayor of Minneapolis, Betsy Hodges, called the second worst mayor in the country by The Observer.
Yeah, Mayor Hodges didn't hesitate to fire back, calling the publication done by Trump's cronies. Well, what a treat. The fella that wrote the piece was in town this week, so I sat down with him today to talk about how he landed on Betsy Hodges being so bad and to ask him directly if he, in fact, is a Trump crony.
Here he is, Eric Weirson, the man in question. He's the reporter who wrote the piece that awarded our mayor, Betsy Hodges, the silver medal in mayoral worstness. Gold went to Chicago's Rahm Emanuel, bronze went to New York City's Bill de Blasio. But before I get to why he picked these three, I have to address what publication Eric wrote the story for.
You write for The Observer. The Observer is owned by Joseph Meyer, who is the brother-in-law of Jared Kushner. Is The Observer a Trump-supporting publication, and is this just a hit piece on someone that doesn't like Trump?
Look, I'll be the first one to tell you I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump. Look at my Twitter feed. I've been very critical of the president and the administration. I certainly am not in Trump's corner. Betsy Hodges called me a Trump crony. That's like the craziest thing I've ever heard.
That's his response. That's his answer. So we move on to why he landed on Mayor Hodges.
That was not a name that I was expecting to come to the top of the list at all. 35, 40 people across the country, you know, in different pockets of different cities in terms of politics. And Hodges' name came up all the time as being sort of like the paradigm of the bad mayor.
His reasons for Hodges being so bad: number one, the handling of the Jamar Clark shooting and the 18-day occupation of the 4th Precinct. Number two, he kicks her as well for not landing the MLS soccer stadium. To be fair, Hodges passed because she wasn't down with giving the developers the tax break they were asking for. And reason number three that she's so bad, he says, bad city management.
The Nicollet Mall is sort of an example of just general mismanagement of public works.
He cites the early kerfluffle with the bidding on the project and, in his opinion, the city's poor job of telling all of you when the dang thing's going to be done. But again, facts matter here. This project is on time and it's on budget. So let's move on to the big picture, the big reason why she's second worst to him.
At the end of the day, the thing that really sort of made us really focus on her was just this pattern of kind of focusing on the wrong issues, grandstanding, and not really focusing on the nuts and bolts and the mechanics of running a city government.
What do you mean by grandstanding?
Well, for example, this big speech she gave the other day, and she mentions Trump, I think, 58 times. That's great, but you know what? You know, there's a mall that needs to be finished.
I'm glad he came back to President Trump, as that really does matter here, because even if Eric isn't on board with the administration, Hodges can't believe The Observer, by and large owned by Trump's son-in-law until the day after the election, has an agenda. Why? She cites the story coming out the day after she gave an anti-Trump speech. His response?
Anyone that knows anything about journalism knows that you don't do a massive research piece, put it together, edit it, and get it published in 12 hours.
Hodges' counter to that? Fine. Then why wasn't the story published sooner?
We did contact Mayor Hodges to do an interview for this story this morning. There was some confusion in her office, so she couldn't do it when we needed to have it done. Also, something that we noticed on this, Rena, you and I talked about it, all three of the people chosen by The Observer as bad mayors are Democrats. But you've got to remember that in the top 100 cities in the United States, more than 75% of the mayors are Democrats. They also cite the three best mayors in the piece. Those are also all Democrats. They name LA's Eric Garcetti and KC's Sly James as some examples on that.
Well, I certainly would never say anything about what Betsy Hodges has done as a mayor. It's not my place, and I certainly couldn't run a city myself. But to say that you got to Trump and that Trump's the reason that this article came out 12 hours later is just absolutely absurd.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, right?
Doesn't.
I mean, it would be one thing for the campaign, you and I have talked about this, to say, or I'm sorry, for Mayor Hodges' office to say, you know, they gave a speech about Trump and then talk about how The Observer was owned by Jared Kushner and Kushner sold it to his brother-in-law, but don't say that you got to Donald Trump, right, because that's probably a stretch.
We all know he'd just tweet at you.
He would tweet at you if he were mad at you. Let's be honest
There
here.
you go.